What up? What up? What up? All right, so gonna do a quick read. Have had the Congo thing on my mind for a while. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Congo. Um, they got the M23 thing going on. They got the Coups. Okay, but let's just jump into this real quick. Let's jump into the issue of, in my opinion, it all breaks down. It all comes down to mineral use. It all comes down to foreign interests needing minerals. It all comes down to cobalt, copper, coltan, okay, things of that matter. It all comes down to our consolidation because the US, of course, needs that for the future. We need raw earth minerals for the golden age, okay, for things like electric vehicles. What's going to power our vehicles? What's going to power these batteries that are made out of lithium, cobalt, right? Raw earth minerals. Where do we get these raw earth minerals? Well, we can go to places like Ukraine. There's been talk of that, right? Or we can go to the old reliable. We can always go to Africa. Africa never fails as a place of acquiring those minerals. So our story begins in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, this is a story from the Council of Foreign Relations. Conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Okay, so this gives you a quick breakdown of what's going on because it's important to understand the root of things. Okay, so in early 2025, fighting between Congolese security forces and militant groups led by M23 escalated rapidly, culminating in M23's capture of Goma, the regional hub of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, on the Rwanda border. Okay, so the group right here, it's on the border of Rwanda. So somewhere along these lines is Goma. Okay, and this group, M23, took over this area. M23, as we're going to read, is made up primarily of DRC troops of the Tutsi ethnic tribe, okay, and a little bit of the Rwandan troops. But let's read further, okay? So Rwanda, the primary backer of the M23 armed group, supported its offensive in eastern DRC with 3,000 or 4,000 ground troops. Now, on the record, Rwanda has they've denied any kind of support. They've denied any kind of assisting of the M23. They've denied any kind of manpower, money, whatever. However, the powers that be are telling us that yes, Rwanda is backing 3,000 to 4,000 men. Okay, so they're adding that manpower. Now, why is M23 bad? Well, because as Goma fell, thousands of locals, many of whom were already internally displaced, fled the region. On February 4th, M23 declared a unilateral ceasefire between 900 people by UN estimates and 2,000 people by Congolese government estimates were killed in the offensive on Goma. M23 is the latest in a series of Rwanda-backed militant groups that have been vying for territory of valuable natural resources in the Eastern Congo since the late 1990s. Okay, so let's just finish this out. So the escalation in Goma exacerbated nationwide political violence, including in the capital, Kinshasa, which surged following DRC's December 2023 national elections, with 1 million Congolese seeking refuge abroad and 21 million people in the country in need of urgent medical, food, and other aid. The DRC represents one of the largest and deadliest humanitarian crises in the world. Now, my takeaway from this, of course, this is an awful situation, just, instability. You have militias, rebels made of, like, it's like a patchwork of different groups coming together to make one group. That's never a good thing because you never know who's in charge. You don't know who's leading it. Rwanda's supposed to be backing, but they're saying they're not. You never know what's going on, okay? So one of the crazy things that we're seeing right here is their valuable natural resources. What's the group doing? It's taking over key areas that have those resources. Why is that important? It's a source of money. When you have money, you have control of things. When you have control of these resources, these mines, you pretty much control the flow of these resources, which come with money, etc. But we will get into that. So that's just to give you all a quick breakdown of what's there, to show you how this is kind of making its connection. But the next story, so this is the UN. This is the just kind of like the background. But where does our interest come in? Why do we care about any of this as a nation? Why? Well, that's because Congo is home to so much. It's an abundant wealth of minerals. Okay, we've got a bunch of stuff down there. The DRC has substantial untapped gold, cobalt, and high-grade copper reserves, but equally significant security risks. Okay, accentuated by a lack of robust infrastructure. Cobalt, one of the key metals to produce electric vehicles, places the DRC in a strategic position for the energy transition. In 2021, the DRC was the world's largest cobalt miner, with a production of 130,000 tons, or nearly 68% of the world's cobalt. Y'all think about that, okay? So almost 70% of the world's cobalt production came from the DRC. That puts them in a very, very, very strategic position. Okay, let's keep reading. The DRC was the fourth largest producer of industrial diamonds in 2022, with a production of 4.3 million carats. That's incredible wealth of resources. The DRC has globally significant lithium deposits. There are no active lithium mines in the DRC as of 2022, but multiple projects are in development. Lithium deposits include the Manono Kitolo mine, which formerly produced tin and coltan until it was closed in the late 1982. So let's see, hold on, let's not skip. So this is interesting as to the fact that, dropping stuff here. This is very interesting as to the fact that Congo is filled, okay, with so much. They've got so many things that are just perfect for this golden age, for this new world order, this takeover, this techno takeover. They've got all the resources for that, okay? They've got copper ore. Copper's used in the military industrial complex. Copper is great for warheads, bullets, metal parts, things like that. Copper is just, perfect, okay? Nickel, same thing. Gold ore. Gold is gold. Gold is just a resource in itself, of course. Cobalt, great in the EVs, electric vehicles. Lithium, what do you think powers these batteries? Okay. Mining equipment, leasing and financing, and power generation and transmission. Those are just some of the things those are the leading subsectors of the Congo. So okay, so wanted to touch base also, make a connection with the American European interest. Okay, so we know they've got all those resources. There's instability. Chaos creates opportunity. Okay, we never let a good chaos go to waste, right? That's pretty much kind of the motto. So how do you extract these resources? You need these resources. How do you get them? Okay, you do what anybody does. You create the libido corridor, of course. What is the libido corridor? Key infrastructure project designed to connect Africa's mineral-rich regions to global markets. Supported by the US and EU, it aims to boost trade and reduce China's dominance. This was reported by the Railway Transport News portal, Railway Supply. So the libido corridor, I think I got a thing over here. The libido corridor, basically, there it is. So it connects multiple nations, okay? It's got Zambia, parts of Zambia. You've got Congo right here, Eastern Congo. You're going all the way through. You're making your way to Angola, okay? And you're going to Lobito. So this is that Lobito corridor. It's like a corridor, like a nice railway system. And what goes along the railway? Choo choo, all aboard. What goes on that? Minerals, of course. Minerals. What else? What else would be there? You load up the cars with minerals, cobalt, coltan, whatever you need, whatever powers that Tesla truck of yours, okay? You load it up, it makes its way from Eastern, okay, you go from Eastern DRC, you make your way slowly all the way to the libido, okay? But of course, people got to make their people got to get their taste in these things, okay? So let's read more about the corridor. The libido corridor is the first strategic economic corridor launched under the flagship G7 Partnership for Global. Let me expand the screen. Let's go back. Under G7 Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, PGII, in May 2023. In the margins of the G20 summit in New Delhi in September 2023, the EU and the US released a joint statement teaming up to support the development of the corridor. So the EU and the US were in this. How much are we in this? Well, we have memos with these people. Memorandum of Understanding. This isn't specific to the corridor, by the way. This is just the MOU the United States has with DRC, okay, Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Republic of Zambia. Okay, so right here, we have an MOU with these guys, DRC, and their neighbor to the south, Zambia. And what's this MOU for? Why would we have an MOU with these people? Well, the MOU is concerning support for the development of a value chain in the electric vehicle battery sector. What does this memo seek to achieve? To facilitate the development of an integrated value chain for the production of electric vehicle batteries in the DRC and Zambia, ranging from raw material extraction to processing, manufacturing, and assembly. So we have a need for these minerals. Like the first article was saying, okay, we're trying to break away from China. We're trying to break away this connection to China. This right here, it aims to boost trade and reduce China's dominance. Okay, we're trying to break away from that Chinese boogeyman, that red dragon or whatever the hell they call it, the red menace or whatever. We're trying to break away from them. But along the way, we have these deals. The EU has a deal with Rwanda, similar to this, where they're exchanging resources. But this specific MOU here, let's just see. So it's specific to cobalt, and it's cobalt for electric vehicles. Here's the intent. Excuse me. Intending to undertake a project to facilitate the development of an EV battery value chain that would help the international community reduce carbon emissions and support the Paris Agreement's aim to strengthen the global response to the threat of climate change, including by holding the increase in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and pursuing efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So as they're like extracting resources from Africans, they're giving them back solar panels. They're giving them back, all this Green New Deal shit. They're giving them all this climate change, all this stuff. They're giving them all this. And in return, what are they doing? Well, they're taking, we're just taking a piece of the pie. So interesting to point out, the libido corridor is not a new concept. These globalists, on their pursuit to, extract minerals from nations, this isn't new. They did this back in 1928. The libido corridor revitalizes the historic Bangula Railway, originally completed in 1928, to enhance mineral exports. It's all about mineral exports. By improving transport efficiency, this project helps invigorate African economies into global supply chains. Okay? So foreign nations are getting their piece in this. They're getting their piece of the pie. Cobalt, that's going up. Okay? We got all these deals with them. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Africa holds nearly 30% of the world's critical mineral reserves, making it a key supplier for global industries. As demand for lithium and cobalt rises, securing reliable supply routes is essential. And those Africans are going to make it. They're going to get that. Currently, 60% of the EU's critical minerals and 98 of rare earth elements come from China. So they're going to need a backup plan. Okay. And along this backup plan, you can't make your way without corruption. Somebody's got to get their taste. Let's go to the first thing right here. Now, so we've got the coups going. We got the M23 causing havoc in the country. They're taking over certain mines. They're creating instability. Okay, the government has memorandums in place for these mines, for these minerals, etc. So they have a vested interest. But not only the government, but quasi-private. Tesla's what, public? I mean, they're taxpayer funded to the ass, right? So Tesla is in there as well. And what's Tesla's role? Elon Musk, Daddy Musk, Daddy Doge, make America great again, part deux, Tesla deal could make US blacklisted Israeli billionaire richer. What's the connection between Tesla, Israelis, Congo minerals? Okay, so this ties the three together. Musk's Tesla struck cobalt deal with Glencore, which could indirectly benefit Dan Gertler, sources tell Bloomberg. So who's Dan Gertler? Oh, we'll get into that. Elon Musk may help sanctioned Israeli billionaire Dan Gertler get a little richer. Tesla, the company Musk runs, struck a deal last month with Glencore to buy as much as 6,000 tons of cobalt annually. So every year, Elon Musk's Tesla is buying 6,000 tons of cobalt for use in the rechargeable batteries that power its electric vehicles. Glencore, in turn, is obligated to pay Gertler about 2.5% of sales from its mines in the DRC, royalty rights he acquired from state-owned miner Jika mines. So basically, so here's the change. So Musk and Tesla need minerals for their lithium batteries, okay? They go through Glencore. Glencore has mines in Congo. Glencore is not a Congolese company, by the way. I believe they are Swiss, they're European, but anyways, Glencore has mines. They own mines over there, right? Not fully, though. Ultimately, Israeli billionaire Dan Gertler has royalty rights to the mines. So he skims 2.5 off the top of any project. So whatever goes on, you got to go through Daddy G first. Okay? You got to get Daddy's blessing. He gets the cake. He ultimately has the royalties. He has final say. That's kind of how it goes. What makes the arrangement eye-catching is that Gertler has been blacklisted from the U.S. financial system since December 2017. Now he stands to indirectly benefit from an American company's payments, if only by a few $1 million a year, since most of the cobalt Tesla is buying will come from Glencore's Congolese mines. That's right, according to people familiar with the matter. Tesla has said it aims to eliminate cobalt from its batteries to reduce cost. That would also remove reputational hazards associated, with sourcing minerals from Congo, including human rights challenges posed by artisanal mining, which provides income for millions, but where fatalities and child labor are common. While Glencore assures buyers that no hand-dug cobalt is treated at its mechanized mines, the contract signals that the metal remains key to Tesla's expansion over the next few years, even at the price of exposing itself to another risk in Central African nation, corruption. There's your boy right there. There's Danny G. Look at him. He's handling business on the phone, Look at this. This dude's in Africa, okay? This dude's in Congo making millions upon millions upon millions. Doing what? Well, skimming money off the top, that's all. But that's your boy right there. So moving on. So that's him. So that's the Musk Gertler connection. But who's Gertler? Let's get a little bit deeper into him. Why is he significant? Okay. Congo signs over potential 880 million of royalties in Glencore projects to offshore company belonging to friend of Congolese president, Gertler. He's friend of the Congolese president. Dan Gertler's business confirms deal, but challenges valuation as Global Witness goes to press. Global Witness today reveals that the state mining company in DRC last year signed over royalty rights in its most lucrative mining project, owned and operated by giant London-listed commodities trader Glencore. There it is. Okay, so they're English. I thought they were Swiss. They're English. To an offshore company belonging to a friend of the president. The contract does not explain what, if anything, Congo state mining companies received in compensation for handing over these rights, and neither Jika Mines nor the offshore companies involved has provided a full explanation. So basically, Homeboy got the royalties to the mines. What did the people get? I don't know. We don't know. Chump change. They got something. Maybe nothing. Okay. Here's a Department of Treasury. This is what they put on our boy Dan there. This is from the Department of Treasury.gov. Dan Gertler is an international businessman and billionaire who has amassed his fortune through hundreds of millions of dollars worth of opaque and corrupt mining and oil deals in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Gertler has used his close friendship with DRC President Joseph Kabila to act as a middleman for mining assets sales in the DRC, requiring some multinational companies to go through Gertler to do business with the Congolese state. As a result, between 2010 and 2012 alone, the DRC reportedly lost over $1.36 billion in revenues from the underpricing of mining assets that were sold to offshore companies linked to Gertler. That's what this Israeli billionaire is doing in Africa. He's getting richer. Okay? The failure of the DRC to publish the full details of one of the sales prompted the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, to halt loans to the DRC totaling $225 million. In 2013, Gertler sold to the DRC government for $150 million the rights to an oil block that Gertler purchased from the government for just $500,000, a loss of $149.5 million in potential revenue. So what this man did, okay, he bought rights for $500,000 from the government, and then he sold them back to the government for $150 million. That nigga's a vulture. Okay. So this is him, and he's over here laundering money. Oh yeah, y'all heard about this? Controversial billionaire Dan Gertler appears to have used suspected international money laundering network to dodge U.S. sanctions and acquire new mining assets in DRC. So this is after the fact. So he got sanctioned, and then he's still doing what he's doing. You got to get that money. It's all about the motherfucking money. It's all about the money. That's what it's all about, right? And you don't stop. Controversial billionaire Dan Gertler appears to have used the money laundering network stretching from DRC to Europe and Israel to evade U.S. sanctions against him, funnel millions of dollars abroad, and acquire new mining assets in DRC. Global Witness and PPLAAF revealed today in a joint investigation. The groundbreaking evidence shines a light on the workings of Gertler's complex business empire and a system apparently designed to conceal the movement of millions of dollars. This scheme would allow Gertler to continue reaping the vast financial benefits of his business deals in DRC, despite being sanctioned by the U.S. in December 2017 for opaque and corrupt mining, oil deals. Now, this is what we read right here. This is literally coming from this, the corrupt mining, opaque and corrupt mining and oil deals. This is all from the Treasury. Okay. So what's Gertler doing? Why is he a bad boy still? Okay. The sanction against Gertler, a close friend of the president, prohibit him from doing business with U.S. citizens, companies, or banks PPLAAF and Global Witness today reveal evidence indicating that despite this, Gertler may have found a way to continue to handle US dollars, consolidate his fortune, and even acquire new assets in DRC. This nigga does not care. He don't give a fuck. He don't care about US sanctions. You think he cares? By the way, I have a pop quiz for y'all. Yeah, this does come with a pop quiz. I bet you didn't think so, did you? Dan Gertler has legal representation, okay? He has a lawyer. It's a Jewish lawyer who represented him while he was getting these sanctions put on him. Who would you guess that lawyer is? The same lawyer that represented Donald Trump and one Jeffrey Epstein. I'll give you 5 seconds. Take a guess. If your answer is Alan Dershowitz, you are correct. That's a true story. Anyways, so yeah, Dershowitz was a lawyer, but anyways, getting back to homeboy over here, he don't care. Okay, so the story being Gertler doesn't care. He's making money. He's profiting all. He's still making profits. Okay, what did this investigation find? The investigation lays bare the ways in which the loopholes of the international financial system may have been exploited by Gertler to dodge sanctions. Quote, our investigation appears to show how the machinery of the global economy can be employed by bad actors for their own personal profit. And in this case, to the detriment of the Congolese population, over 73% of whom live on less than $2 a day. Excuse me, said Mollett. So this is what he's doing. He's still making money. In total, between June 2018 and May 2019, this is after the sanctions, at least $100 million flowed through bank accounts associated with this network. Much of it was denominated in US dollars. Remember the dollars he wasn't supposed to work with? Despite the US sanctions, and almost 70% of it was deposited in cash into accounts apparently connected to Gertler or his association. This dude doesn't care. He doesn't care. Among the various transactions revealed today, at least 21 million was sent to unknown accounts held outside DRC, and 25 million was sent to DRC's controversial state-owned mining company, Jika Mines. Gertler, which is tied to Gertler, by the way, Gertler seemingly used proxies to make these payments to Jika Mines in exchange for new mining licenses just before the 2018 elections. This is reminiscent of deals Gertler did with the state miner before the 2011 elections, a scheme that contributed to the imposition of sanctions for corruption. So Gertler is our first Israeli tie in the Congolese world, in the Congolese mines. He has some Israeli ties, clearly, besides being an Israeli billionaire, okay? His laundering network it goes from Congo to Europe and Israel in the hopes of evading the US sanctions. So Israel is tied, okay? And what's our second Israeli connection, okay? It's your boy Yossi Cohen, former Mossad. What's Yossi's connection to Congo? DRC Congo deported former Mossad chief on suspicion of planning a coup. Oh, those Mossad agents and their pesky coups. You know, you try to overthrow a government. You silly rabbit. You got caught doing it. The former head of Israel's Mossad spy agency, Yossi Cohen, was deported from the DRC in 2019 after he was suspected on planning a coup against the country's president. Haaretz revealed on Tuesday. Haaretz revealed. Not conspiracy news, not cuckoo news. Haaretz. You know Haaretz from Israel, Haaretz? Haaretz reported. Details on this visit have been covered up by the military censor in Israel until now. Israeli news outlet The Marker said that Cohen was deported by President Felix Tshisekedi. Wow, Tshisekedi. Personally, after his third suspicious visit to the Congo leader's office. So 3 strikes. He did 3 strikes, okay? He had 3 visits. Two of Cohen's visits were exposed by Bloomberg in the first instance. It's said that he was accompanied by Jewish billionaire Dan Gertler. Okay, there's our connection. So Cohen Mossad connected to Dan Gertler, Jewish billionaire who's profiteering off the Congo, the Congolese people, tied into a corrupt president of Congo, past corrupt president. So there's that connection. Okay, so his first trip was with Jewish billionaire Dan Gertler, who was suspected by the British authorities of paying 360 million in exchange for mining rights in the DRC. The U.S. and Swiss authorities suspect Gertler of similar crimes, but Cohen worked to get the U.S. administration to remove the sanction it imposed on Gertler in late 2017. So Mossad Cohen worked on getting the U.S. government to remove those sanctions. A foreign agent got our government, the U.S. government, okay, to remove sanctions on an Israeli billionaire for opaque and corrupt mining and oil, right? Remember that? Okay. So 2017, Cohen got that cleaned up. The sanctions were removed in the last minutes of Donald Trump's presidency. So Donald, wow, yeah, make Israel great again. Y'all do know that, right? Remember when Trump put Sheldon Adelson on a plane? Y'all remember that? He put him and his wife, Trump put Jonathan Pollard and his wife on Sheldon Adelson's plane and sent them over to Israel. Y'all remember that? Who was the person that met him on the tarmac? When Jonathan Pollard, traitor to this nation, was pardoned by Trump, put on Adelson's plane, flown to Israel, he got off the tarmac, he kissed the tarmac. Okay? After all that, who was the person that met him at the tarmac? Benjamin Milikowski. You got it. That's right. Thanks for your service. That's what you get. So Cohen, okay, friends with Dan Gertler, gets him off the hook, okay, with the sanctions back in 2017 with Trump. And then Gertler still does what he does just because he don't care, okay? So visit one, Gertler, okay? First two visits with Gertler. According to Bloomberg, Cohen was not invited for any of his visits, and the DRC president was always surprised by his presence. While the date of the first visit was not revealed, the second took place on 9 October 2019, when the president flew in his presidential plane from the eastern city of Goma to the capital, Kinshasa. His driver and a number of close aides were killed in another plane that took off shortly after his own. Let me repeat that. While a Mossad agent, former Mossad Yossi Cohen, is unpromptedly just visiting Congo, okay? He's visiting the president for some odd reason. The president flies on plane A at 10 o'clock, let's just say. Plane A leaves at 10, okay? It goes from Goma to Kinshasa. Plane B leaves at like 10:30, let's say, flies, and everyone in it blows up because the plane blows up. A little spooky, isn't it? Cohen asked president whether it was in order, okay, to advise former President Joseph Kabila on an issue of interest to Israel. Kabila, who is considered to be close to Gertler, who, by the way, is corrupt, who, by the way, worked with Gertler to secure all those mines, from whom he is alleged to have received a bribe, exactly, had a complicated political relationship with the president at that time. Haaretz said that Kabila posed a threat to the president, the first president to take office after roughly a quarter century in which the Congo was ruled by either Kabila or his father, Laurent Kabila. A few weeks after the second visit, Cohen made his third trip to the Congo and held an unscheduled meeting with the president and some of his staff at his Kinshasa office. Cohen, quote, Cohen once again spoke in vague terms about the cooperation between the countries. That's insane. That's insane. So Cohen's just out there talking. He's just talking, just trying to influence the president to do what exactly? Haaretz reported that at one point, the president, Tshisekedi, asked his staff to leave the room so he could be alone with Cohen. At the end of their brief conversation, Cohen was told to go directly to the airport, escorted by local security forces, and leave the country and not return. The Mossad chief was thus effectively deported, an unprecedented and humiliating step following a series of unscheduled meetings. So there's Yassi Cohen getting kicked out of Congo. But Yassi is not the only Mossad to make his way in Congo and start some fuckery. Because here we have a connection. This is a connection. Y'all heard about this guy, right? American detained in failed Congo coup and former DC drug. He's a former DC drug dealer, allegedly, right? Married father of three, who was running gold mining and e-cigarette business with slain missions leader. Wait, what? Huh? This guy right here. What? What did he do exactly? What's our connection there? Let me pull up his story. This is where it gets very, very spooky. Marylander Benjamin Ruben Zalman-Polun sentenced to death in Congo. This is old news. This is September 17th, 2024. This isn't new. But this American is in Congo, sentenced to death as we speak. Why? Why is he sentenced to death exactly? A Jewish Marylander is facing the death penalty for his involvement in an attempted political coup in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Benjamin Ruben Zalman-Polun, a father of three who lives in the Maryland suburb of Washington, D.C., was one of three Americans and 37 people in total sentenced to death last Friday, September 13th, in the DRC over a coup attempt late last May. The failed coup was led by Christian Malanga, a one-time used car salesman and gold miner who sought to overthrow the country's president, Felix Tshisekedi. 6 people were killed in the coup attempt, parts of which were live streamed, and Malanga was later shot and killed by the Congolese army while resisting arrest. Now, why is Pullman such a hot topic in this? Zalman-Polun is now also the target of conspiracy theories that claim he is a CIA and Mossad agent sent to destabilize the Congolese government. Users on X have been sharing a photo of Zalman-Polun and Christian Malanga taken outside of Galan's spy shop. They took pictures outside of the spy shop, folks. Come on now. A technology and security supply store in Tel Aviv. Right. That's exactly what it is. Saying that it is proof that they were trained by Israeli forces. What people are referring to are right here. There it is. There's your boys outside the spy shop. They're just chilling. No big deal, because that's what you do. You hang, and there's him right there. Like, what are you doing, dude? If that ain't a spook, I don't know what is. There's his passport. Look at that face. There's a quick video of the capture. Look at that. Fuck around and find out, huh? When keeping it real goes wrong. Look at that. Yep, they got him. They got him. Sorry. Troublemakers. Try to be a troublemaker. That's what happens, huh? So they got these guys, but there he is. There's a spy shop picture. It's like, what? What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? You're a spook. I'm sorry. That's me. I don't know about y'all, but spook and spook puppet right there. He's a goy. You know how in Spanish that double L sometimes make the y sound. He's a goy right here at the bottom. Goy. Spook, Mossad spook, and goy right there. Spy shop. Okay? That's how he does it. That's what they think of this guy. As unfortunate as it is, that's how it is. But all in all, that's the connection there. So we got Mossad spooks. We've got literal Mossad former chiefs just out there trying to like get the government to go in one direction. Okay, and he's bringing corrupt Dan Gertler with him. Gertler, who's out here skimming off the top like he was. The same Dan Gertler who our treasury put a sanction on, but who's still making money outside of that. Okay, 1.36 billion in revenues. So this could be money going to the government, but of course, the people, the people who are like displaced right now, the refugees, the people that don't have a home, the people whose property and land is being all messed up, those people. Yeah, those people. That money could be theirs. That could be their property, but no, not so much. It can't be. Why? Well, because people like Dan need that moolah. It all comes down to the money, sadly. That's really sad. But all in all, that's the connection, folks. So we're going from M23, okay, in the Congo. They're going through that mess over there. They're taking over mines. The U.S. government and the EU have interest in those mines. Elon Musk, through Tesla, has an interest in those mines. Glencore owns those mines that Tesla is getting tons of cobalt from for the EVs, the electric batteries, okay? Glencore gives 2.5% to Daddy Gertler because he's got royalties. So right off the top, he's collecting he's got the cream off the top, okay? So he's getting that. Gertler's tied in with the Israeli government. Gertler's got ties with Mossad. Mossad chief Yossi Cohen gets kicked out of DRC for fuckery. And now we've got 3 Americans on death row for further fuckery. One of them is Mossad. So you see, it's all about minerals and it's all about control and it's all about subversion. So keep your eyes on Congo, folks. Keep your eyes on Africa. Something very interesting going on. So, yep, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Keep your eyes on Africa. Keep your eyes and ears open, by the way. Catch me on AM Wake Up Monday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern. So around 10 to 1. I'll catch y'all there. Besides that, I'll see y'all on X. Good night. Take it easy, folks.